Hello and welcome to the What You've Been Watching podcast. I am your host, the indecipherable, marvelous Mike Dudley. Joined as always by my co-host, cohort, younger brother,
MD3 Marcus Dudley checking in on y'all. What is going on out there in podcast land? Thank you so much for taking the time to let us be a part of your ear situation today. We are broadcasting live from nowhere else but the What You Been Watching studios in Tallahassee, Florida, in the Wakulla Basin. So, thank you for joining us. How are you, my brother?
I'm doing quite well, sir.
Quite
Cannot
well,
complain.
he says.
Yeah. I just started my bottle of Cavassier, so I am ready to begin.
Ready to begin, it sounds like.
Call me for all your romantic queries.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, please also... Speaking of romantic queries, you can find us at whatchabeenwatchingpodcast at gmail.com. Please, actually, for real, do send us romantic queries. I would love nothing more than to do a Love Line episode of What You've Been Watching, where we don't talk about movies. Or we just give you advice based on movies that we've seen.
Right.
In that one movie, have you ever tried going on a date with this girl and having your buddy in a van with an earpiece and letting shenanigans ensue?
Have you tried putting her down a well?
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a great one. So yeah, please send all your romantic queries to What You've Been Watching podcast at gmail.com. Big shout out to Kesta for the lovely song Always Bright. My brother, where else can they find us?
They can find us at facebook.com/Dudley Bros Podcast, or just search the World Wide Webs for What You Been Watching and look for the colorful, wondrous, glorious banner done by MK Dudley Art.
I will say it is a very, very cool thing when I can just type in What You've Been Watching podcast on Google and a bunch of opportunities show up to for us to listen. I didn't even know there was that many podcast vehicles out there. Podcast.com and the RSSs of the world and the Google.
Dude, we're on them all. We're on Spotify, Google. iTunes, Google Play. I mean, come on, man. We're out there. You guys can reach us.
We're doing a BIG. So, man.
To the Legion!
Yes, sir. So how are you, though, man? You said you're doing fantastic. What brings about your fantastic?
So yesterday I was hiking in the woods and I got attacked by a bobcat, and then I transformed into a robot and I fought that shit. It was pretty dope.
That's pretty cool.
No, not really. We're just doing okay at work, and
I
just always answer with a stupid work answer, and I felt the need to zhuzh it up a little bit. But
I appreciate
I couldn't lie.
No, I appreciate you.
I think I went too far with the robot.
I mean, it was plausible. It was plausible. Either the robot or the bobcat, but not both.
Ah, see.
So, but yeah, and by the way, you missed out on an opportunity to say a big-ass jungle cat. That's where I would have gone with it, because I like saying that as often as possible.
Big-ass spotted panther.
Big-ass. Everything's a puma to me. I don't know, just because it's fun to say. It's like, long story. Yard puma is fun to say. What kind of house you got? I got a big-ass yard puma. Anyway, that's enough of that. But yeah, no, I appreciate you trying to spice it up. Besides, just because we get lame in fucking our life when we get over 30 is just work, find something to avoid work, find something to avoid work, which is what brought us here today to this table. So, I've been doing really well myself. I would love to tell you the reasons as to why, but nobody cares as much as they do about this next $1 million question. My brother, my friend, without any further ado, the legions, we all want to know, myself included, what you been watching, my guy?
Brother, we had an interesting experience. We recently got to experience the once-a-year Royal Rumble, sir.
Oh, wait then. Unofficial segment. What you been watching, a.k.a. How you been sporting, is what we'll call this.
So welcome to our mini episode called What You Been Wrestling.
Yeah, we got What You Been Playing. We got,
Royal Rumble.
How
dude.
You Been Sporting?
It was fun, dude. It was a blast. I had a bunch of people over to the house. We ordered some Sonny's Real Pit Barbecue
From the musical Sonny's itself.
Pulled pork.
Yep, sorry. Anyways, go back and listen to that episode. There's your self-referential bingo card.
But yeah, it was fun. It was really good to get together with not only Glenn, who's a serious wrestling fan like myself, but also with you were there and you're at best a casual fan. Matthew and Adrian, who are not fans really at all. Liz got to experience wrestling for the first time, plus Ryan and his girlfriend.
Jen, yes.
Jen, that's right. So, it was good. I've always enjoyed the Royal Rumble because, anything can happen. like anybody from any period of history could show up. They could have Sergeant Slaughter come down to the ring, Iron Sheik, any of the old school favorites that you grew up with. Plus, it's a really good excuse to get to understand and know new characters and people you've never seen before. So even if you've never watched any of WWE before, the Royal Rumble's a really good place to start because they're going to introduce 60 people on the roster at any given point. So you will get to understand and learn who these people are in the brief moments that you have with them, because typically they'll run down to the ring, they'll do whatever shit they require as far as their finisher, their special move, whatever, and then they get pitched out and we're on to the next one,
Yeah. It was actually enjoyable. I think we at one of our second, maybe third episode, we talked about the Royal Rumble last year. Mm-hmm. And really enjoyable. Really enjoyable once again. I liked last year's a bit better.
Is that because of Rick Boogs?
Yeah, Rick Boogs is my guy. Rick Boogs was my guy. But the women's Royal Rumble was really good too. Rhea Ripley went wire to wire, I guess, for the first female in WWE history.
To enter at number 1 and outlast 29 other stars. Yep.
Yeah.
Only done by 3 other wrestlers in history.
Who are they, Michael?
First one was Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
Second one was name redacted.
Right.
And the third was Edge.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that was what Edge was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So an elite cabinet of a very exclusive club that Rhea Ripley just
She
joined.
deserves it because, Mama's been on a rising star lately, and she's super talented. She's got a great look. She's pretty decent on the microphone. I buy her as a legitimate fighter. So I love it. I think more of her, less of everything else.
Except there wasn't 30 fighters in the Royal Rumble because Rey Mysterio didn't show up.
That's true.
So there was only 29.
Technically.
So we were gypped a wrestler, as it were.
But they kayfabe explained that away by saying that he had been injured the night before in an accident, quote unquote.
Oh. Dominic Mysterio, you dog, you.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, I didn't know that. They didn't say any of that during the Rumble, but...
Oh, they did. It was literally like a throw. It was like one line, and if you didn't hear it, you missed it. But
yeah. No, I know you were very upset by Pat MacAfee doing commentating. What's your beef with the guy? I like him. Maybe it's because I'm from the football world, but
he's the me of commentary. Just he's loud and obnoxious and doesn't add anything to the conversation. And
maybe that's why I like him. Too much of you, maybe from you, was.
I can't. Every time he opens his mouth, I just want to be like, that added nothing. You shut up, Meg.
Yeah, I don't know. I like him. He's doing his thing, man. He seems to have found his niche, man. Like you're replacing him on college game day with like Lee Corso and stuff. He's kind of like the new version of that. And
see, maybe that's my problem. Is how are you going to go from Lee Corso to Pat MacAfee?
I get it.
I don't.
I do in a weird way.
Lee Corso has more personality in his left nut than Pat MacAfee has in his entire body.
You don't like the Pat MacAfee show on?
I can't say I've sat down and watched it, but if it's anything like his commentary, I'm going to hate it.
He's pretty knowledgeable on football and such, but he also dabbles into other stuff, and he's pretty good interviewer. He
strikes me as a doucher.
He might actually accept that crown. I don't know that. Yeah, I just know you were super fired up about it. I didn't think he did a good job in terms of wrestling commentary, but wrestling commentary, I don't know the skill set. It's all kind of superfluous. There's usually some opinionated person going, well, I don't like this guy for this reason.
Sure.
And the other person does, and then there's one person that just calls the match as it goes.
Which is a great dynamic, but he didn't do any of that. He was just like, my God, I can't believe what I'm seeing now. Yeah, that was my Pat MacAfee.
Oh, man. Yeah, definitely on the bingo card now. Shit, that's funny. Yeah, no, but for as a mediocre wrestling fan, I enjoyed the Royal Rumble, man. What was the one chick's name? Something Stark? Her last name was Stark, is the reason I liked it.
It's a new person. I don't remember. Melissa Stark?
It doesn't sound right, but still. No. Either way, whatever your last name is.
Katie Stark? Missy Stark?
I don't know. Your last name was Stark, and I was rooting for you.
So. Tony Stark with an I?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. But I was rooting for you, though. You were doing your thing. You were taking some blows out there, doing your thing. Whoever came out dressed like Rufio, also Z, whatever her name was.
Oh yeah.
What was her name? Z Lang.
Xia Li.
Xia Li. Yeah. She's dressed like Rufio, and I was all about that.
Oh, and then Zelina Vega came dressed out as
the new chick from Street Fighter 6.
That's right.
I don't know her name yet, but I will.
We were just talking about Street Fighter 6, and as soon as she showed up, you were like, "See, I told you."
I told you Street Fighter 6. I've been watching some of it. But no, I enjoyed it, man. Anytime you get a good cosplay wrestling action, I'm all about it. Now, if somebody can actually just dress up as Ryu and just do a Hadouken for real or a Dragon Punch, I'm all about it. But no, it's always interesting to watch, man. You were talking about how anybody could show up. Booker T showed up.
Yeah.
And you called it exactly. You're like, he's going to do this, and then he's going to play the hits, and then he's going to get tossed out. And that's exactly what happened.
Yep.
He came out, called some people sucker. Did the axe kick thing that he does.
Little spin-a-rooney action.
Little
bookend action.
Yes, sir. Did the bookend.
And then hucked over the ropes.
And that's what it was. But we were happy to see him for a little bit.
That's it. I mean, it's like going and see, like, you know, it's like going to see Motley Crue now. Like, I really hope that they play Home Sweet Home and Girls, Girls, Girls. Like, I don't want to see them play this shit off their new album.
Yeah, like,
I don't give a fuck.
If you'll bear with us while we play some stuff off our new album and everyone goes to get a beer refill.
Right.
Like, don't announce that next time.
Right. I'm going to go get a beer. Call me when they do Shout at the Devil.
Right. I saw the Temptations. They go, we're going to sing some stuff off our new album. And that's literally what happened. Play My Girl again, please.
You can just do it over and over
again. Their catalog is so fucking thick, though. Like, don't play new shit. I get what you're trying to do, but just, you know what we want to hear, damn it. So,
Just My Imagination, Ball of Confusion, My Girl.
Just My Imagination is one of my favorite songs of all time.
Me too.
It is so good. Eddie Kendrick is the man. So Royal Rumble. As a passing fan, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I appreciate you hosting it. Brought some pizzas for everybody, some delicious 40-ounce beverages, which I don't partake in anymore. But I was in Georgia. As those who know, we don't sell 40-ounce beers.
Unfortunately.
Get a bunch of 32s or a bunch of 16 ounces. Can get a 24-pack, but not a 30. But you can buy as many 24 packs as you can and put them in a...
Because apparently 32 ounces is the exact legal limit.
It's stupid.
To my intoxication.
So I was in Georgia.
I think they're underselling my ability to get intoxicated.
I fully agree, and I want bang for my buck is what I want. I was in a gas station one time, and I had like $8 to my name. It was the most math I've ever done in my life, but I was going to figure out how much alcohol percentage on average per volume I could get with that $8. And it was the most math I'd ever done in a single setting.
All of a sudden, you turned into Russell Crowe from It's a Beautiful Mind.
I did, bro. I did. I was all over the map. It was great. It worked, though. Got hammered for still had some change left. Forgot where I was going with that. But yeah, we had 40 ounces that I was in Georgia, so I picked up for Michael and everybody. But I had a good time, though, man. Hope to look forward to doing it again next year. Yeah. So, to continue how you've been sporting.
How them birds doing, sir?
Oh my God, the Eagles are going.
I saw it coming. You were flapping your arms so subtly.
The Super Bowl. I am so excited. I
asked Chris. Eagles fly.
Yep, on the road to victory.
I don't know the rest of.
You could probably figure them out.
We're gonna roll down the field and fight for our team. So fly, Eagles, fly, caw.
EAGLE. That was pretty close.
Okay.
That was about 90% of it, actually.
All right.
Not bad. You hit all the high notes. Thematically, it was a 10 out of 10. I mean, the things that they say, it's all about scoring a touchdown, going out. Yeah, you got it. You figured it out. But no, the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl. A lot of shit talking out there on my team, and I don't appreciate that. Do not send...
Calm down.
Do not send none of that shit into what you've been watching. I will ban your IP address from listening. You send me that bullshit. And damn it, these are professional athletes. It's a cakewalk schedule. Eat a dick. Professionally. And I'm not usually the one to have outbursts on this show. But I'll tell you that right now. That's from the heart. You see a dick, you eat that shit. If you talk bad about my birds going to the Super Bowl. They win. They're going because they're champions. That's why they're going. And we'll see how it plays out. I don't want to talk too much shit because...
Okay, good.
But, no, I'm very excited, man. That's why we play.
Because when they lose, it's all going to roll back on you.
It will. Dude, it happens anyways. People I don't even talk to, they just happen to know I'm an Eagles fan, are hitting me up with like Eagles memes. I'm like, you talk to me never. Like, I've talked to you 3 times in 8 years. Like, right, cool. Right. Now fuck my team and me. Cool, awesome, thanks. Hope your kids are doing well.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, exactly. So one of our aunts was like, Aunt Cricket was like, you're the sole reason I was happy for the Eagles W. I go, I'm also the sole reason that some people are probably angry that they won today, too. So I'm glad I got one.
Oh, he'll be insufferable now. There'll be no stopping him.
Oh, I'll get off it. But yes, very excited about that. You guys will hear it on the next episode of What You've Been Watching. The outcome of said game.
All right. I don't even know who they're going against, but I wish them nothing but the best.
The Kansas City Chefs, I believe.
The Chefs?
Yeah.
Great googly moogly.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, that's enough out of that. That's our segment of AKA How You Been Sporting. My brother, what you been watching though, man? Because I think we have done actually homework together on one of these things, and we've watched some similar things, I believe.
This is true. First off, we started off with...
First off,
we started off with The Last of Us.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, on the HBO streaming service. I'd never played the video game, so I have zero knowledge of where this story goes, but I'm already completely enchanted with this. Pedro Pascal is once again just amazing in everything he does. And what's her name?
Bella Ramsey.
Bella Ramsey, that's it. Who you might know as Lina Mormont, the bear girl from Game of Thrones. I know that means nothing to you, but people right now are losing their minds going really? Bear Girl's in this? Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. You said Stark earlier. I said Stark earlier. That's one thing I know. There's an Arya Stark and there's a Winter King or something. I don't know. Battle of Snowfell, some shit. I don't know. Mount Doom.
It's like Dungeons and Dragons, but with way more tits and incest.
I know. I get it. I probably would like it. But no, Last of Us, though, man. I am with you on that one. I have never played the video game. Obviously, I have some familiarity with it. Mm-hmm. As many video game consoles as I have, I'm kind of lacking in some of the newer ones. I don't have an Xbox One or an Xbox One X or S. I do not have a PlayStation 3, 4, or 5.
Yep.
But so I've never played The Last of Us. I've not played a lot of the Sony consoles have kind of escaped me recently. I had a Xbox 360 was the most recent one I had on that. But
I'm actually thinking of if I ever get a little bit of fuck you money, I might just go buy an old PS3 just so I can play the Spider-Man and
you gotta be P4 for that one.
Okay, well still, even at that point,
Yeah, I'm almost
find a refurbished piece of shit that I'm just gonna run 3 games on anyway.
I almost bought a PS5 the other day, but I would have not been able to go home. It's like $800.
You bought what?
Yeah.
Also, I got another dog.
Yeah, pretty much. If I came home with a PS5 and another dog, I might be able to get away with it. It's a good plan, actually. It's a good plan.
Call me for all your romantic queries.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's why you need to send them to Michael when he gets drunk, these romantic interests. But no, I've never played the game, though. And dude, I am so enthralled with this series. Yeah. It is so fucking good. And
Give me the basic rundown as far as plot.
So it's ultimately a post-apocalyptic kind of show.
Sure.
And what happens is ultimately Pedro Pascal is I think he's a retired Marine of some kind. I think he's a Marine, yeah.
Yeah,
in one of the Gulf Wars
or something, yeah.
In one of the Gulf Wars, I believe. And he is living his life in Texas, of course. And without fail, there's this old lady next door who has been kind of almost comatose, they're feeding her soup because she can't move and everything like that, and that's their neighbor.
She's advanced Alzheimer's,
yeah, whatever it might
something,
be.
Yeah.
And his daughter have a good relationship, whatever. And ultimately, what happens is you find out that the old lady who lived next door, who hangs out with Pedro Pascal and his daughter and his brother, who the daughter's uncle, whatever. She's been infected by this fungus, as have many other people on the planet.
Right. It's basically
what is it?
It's like The Walking Dead, but instead of zombies, I think it's called cordyceps.
Cordyceps, yeah.
Yeah, which is this fungus.
Which is you know how there's peanut butter crunch and then there's Captain Crunch with crunch berries? Uh-huh. It's that version of Cenobites. It's cordyceps.
Cordyceps. Now with cordyceps.
Well, that's a topical gel. Cordyceps would be. Yeah, cordyceps, your topical gel.
That's right. So basically, it's based on a real life fungus that infects insects and causes them to act strangely. It essentially takes over the mind of the insect. And so the whole plot of the series is this fungus has now evolved to be able to infect humans.
Yep, pretty much. And yeah, pretty much. So
instead of zombies, it's plant people.
Yeah, and it goes all off at once. Whatever activates it all at once, and planes start falling out of the sky, and this and that and the third. And And then all hell breaks loose. And ultimately what happens is Pedro Pascal, his brother, and his daughter try to escape the city. And what happens is they run across a Marine. And the Marine, you hear him say, all right, stop. He's like, hey, we're not sick, we're not sick, we're not sick. He says it a bunch of times. And then you hear the Marine kind of go in his radio. He's like, you guys stay right there. You hear him whisper something. He's like, sir, are you sure? Are you sure?
Right. And already you can tell that
something. She just got some bad news. And the Marine turns the flashlight on Pedro Pascal and his daughter at the time and opens fire and kills.
His character's name is Joel.
Joel, Joel. Joel survives, but his daughter takes some bullets. Right when the Marine's about to kill Joel, his brother shows back up and kills the Marine with a sniper rifle.
Right.
Then it fast forwards to 20 years later, and it is a post-apocalyptic. Yeah. There's quarantine zones.
The entire world is run over by this fungus, this cordyceps. They have quarantine zones set up in major cities like Boston and Baltimore, and I think they mentioned Seattle. I think
there's out west. They just say
yeah. But
I think Wichita or one they mentioned. Whatever.
Yeah, it's basically like Escape from New York kind of situation.
Yeah, and it's fucked up though, man. Like.
The government's become this like tyrannical, like almost
totalitarian
like fascist Nazis. Regime.
It's crazy though, man. It's the world building in itself. It doesn't sound anything special, but when you start watching the show, you really feel it, man. At least I did. I was like, this is something like different, new.
They do a really good job of immersing you in the world and making it feel all believable.
Yes.
Like they're walking through the streets of Boston and there's just, like signs everywhere saying, obey, notice signs of cordyceps infection, follow protocol, this, this, that, the other, report any infections, it's up to you. Very, very, very propaganda like materials, just supposed to direct your mind into obey, conform, everybody get along kind of thing.
Yeah, they're handing out like work rations and stuff like that. And
right, money's gone away, so now it's just tokens basically. As
pretty
far
much.
As like you can trade them in for goods and services or like food rations or whatever.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking tough. And you see these little spray painted things everywhere called fireflies. It's like a graffiti kind of, but it's like the underground resistance movement or whatever. And we come to find out that they are holding on to a little girl, Ellie, I think her name is. Mm-hmm. Played by Bella Ramsey. And initially they don't tell you this, but she's just chained to some radiator somewhere. And they walk in and they ask her name, everything like that. They say, it's been 3 days now and you're going to let me go. Find out that she has been bitten and has not transformed into one of the cordyceps yet. So she might be the hope for a cure.
Right.
That's the world pretty much. And that's what, we're only 3 episodes in because there's only been 3 that have been released yet. But man, is it fucking good. The writing is so good.
Very tight, very, very dramatic. It does a really good job of giving you just enough information to keep you interested and then denying you the rest of the information to keep you hanging on, but it never goes too far without explaining the next step.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. It's
like, how some things, like some shows will give you just
dump.
Yeah, or they'll give you just enough to where you're interested, and then they never explain it again until the very, very end, and you're like, well...
Too much at the end, yeah.
Right.
This one walks you at a good pace through it.
Right.
Which, ironically enough, I don't know exactly who wrote it. I know that the showrunner is the guy that did Chernobyl. What's his name? Greg Spence, I think his name is?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fucking really talented. I didn't know this guy. I've never seen Chernobyl, but apparently it's a fucking really good show, really dark, but...
It is really... I mean, it's based on the... I want to say 1986, 85 accident, the Chernobyl explosion.
Meltdown. Yeah.
But it's a really harrowing, like really good tale. There's a scene literally to where they go into a first person view of one of the cats that's basically recruited to remove some of the debris from the explosion, and they give them basic instructions of like, you put on your suit in this room. Once we open the door, you have 3 minutes. You have very specific areas that you have to clean. So, like, everybody knows beforehand, like, I am going to go pick up that rock, or I'm going to go pick up that piece of concrete, or that piece of rebar, or whatever. And so you go do that. You bring it back here. You unzip your suit. We spray you down. You get back in line, and then in 6 hours, if you're not contaminated, we do it again. And it's this whole first-person view of this little, like, 19-year-old kid running to pick up this huge piece of concrete and carry it back in a wheelbarrow, and wheelbarrow keeps tipping over, and he's, like, keeping track of his watch, and they're like, if you don't make it in 3 minutes, you're contaminated, and we're going to lock you out because you have radiation poisoning. And so, like, he makes it back just in time, and then, spoiler alert, he looks down and sees that there's a tiny little tear, like, right at his ankle.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's this really, really thrilling shot all, like, pretty much all in first person that really drops you into the environment.
Holy shit.
Ramps up the emotion. So yeah.
So it sounds like the guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. So yeah, but I'll say this again, I don't know who wrote what. I know it's based off of the Naughty Dog development studios for PlayStation. The way I was saying that, like, they walk you and they give you the information, like you were saying, as it comes, it's almost paced like a fucking video game, where it's like, we're going to do this and that and the third.
We're going to give you just enough information to get you through the next save point.
Yeah, you got 40 hours to do it, and you can tell that, and I've always been told that The Last of Us, while I've never played it, the all-around general, like, consensus of people that I know is, one, fucking play it immediately, and two, it really does blur the line of, like, interactive storytelling. And so I think that they really are trying to capture that.
Sure.
Because there are certain scenes, and as a person who's fancied themselves a gamer and played many games in my life, especially survival horror, there are scenes in, like, setups and stages, what am I looking for? Like, design, locations, stuff like that, or sound stages or whatever that they've built, that are built just like a fucking video game.
Oh, yeah.
Like, when they spoiler, they get out of the Boston
museum.
Well, hang on. First off, we're going to spoil this a lot, at least the first episode. So go watch them if you haven't.
Okay.
Good show, right?
Right.
Cool.
Right.
Cool. Yeah. So they leave Boston, the quarantine zone, and they're like, they kind of, when you first open up the door or whatever, it's like into like a junkyard. I've always wondered why in video games you'll be like in a junkyard and there'll be a school bus blocking your path, but then there's like a little, like, a sewer tunnel that's like underneath it and this and that and the third. And it doesn't make any sense in a video game because you're like, no, the real world is not set up like this.
Sure.
They did a really good job of being like, oh, sneak here, then run behind the school bus, then do this, and then duck down here, and then round this corner.
Right.
And it was built like a fucking video game.
Yeah,
and
very
I
much.
could tell it. I was like, whatever level design they made, they must have used some of that as like
a basis. Yeah.
Like a basis, being like, hey, this is what we want it to look like. Same thing later in episode 3, which we will be talking about episode 3 here, trust me. There's a scene where these people are holding off these raiders from coming through this chain link fence. And around it, so you're in this giant square, all right, like a town square.
Right.
And around it, they've set up flamethrowers out of gas pipelines. And so
and tripwires.
Yeah, and tripwires. So it's lit up,
yeah.
like every about 10 or 15 feet, there's a ball of fire. And it's pouring down rain, and you come out and you see a guy taking shots at people from the other side of the fence. And in my mind, I'm like, this is a fucking video game level.
Yeah.
Like, this is exactly like where a big boss would come crashing through the gate.
Hide
and now
behind
you
the
have
killer.
to...
He's going to shoot at you. You got to dodge the bullets.
Yeah.
You got to run behind the truck. You got to go pick up the dude. He dropped his gun, so you got to go back and pick up the gun. Like, it's very much set up in terms of, like, fast-paced, action-oriented video game where you have to make decisions.
Yeah, and I don't mean like the plot structure and the way it happens doesn't play like a video game, but like the actual setup, you're like, this is a point where I would see a giant cordyceps crashing through the gate.
Right,
or like the military comes by in a bulldozer, like, we're getting your supplies. And it's up to you and your new friend, your non-playable character, to sit there and hold them off. Like, it's set up just like that. And I found myself saying that constantly throughout the show. Like, they definitely pulled from the source material in all the right ways. And that's what we want, personally, as anybody who's a fan of video game adaptations, comic book adaptations, whether it be The Walking Dead. Why that show had so much longevity is they do, there's two things I want to talk about, and they do them both very well. One, and
Speak on it, son.
This is what they talked about. If you hang out and watch after the credits roll, there's some information that the creators of the show, The Last of Us, talk about. And they say, if we come up with an idea for something, and it's better than the video game, then we go with that.
Right.
Well, as long as it honors the theme of what we're going for, we go with that. If we can't think of anything better, why change it?
Right. All things being equal, go with the thing.
Yeah,
that
go
works
with the thing
already.
that works already. The thing
and we've talked about with Marvel. That's their whole basis, is what works in these comic books. What makes people so attracted to them? Why are these the things that are the perennial favorites year after year
Right.
after year, and just do that because it works. Why change the recipe? Like, yeah, you can put your own spin on it, and I added a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but like the core structure of what it is the same tried, tested, true version that people have come to love.
Right. It's like if you order marsala, it's going to have alcohol cooked out of it. It's a marsala wine sauce. Like, don't be like, oh, this is my spin on marsala. Like, bro, this is fucking bolognese. It's a completely different thing. Like, don't call it that,
Ooh, look who got all fancy on the menu.
I know, right? Hey, see what you did there. Plug. But no, so they do that very well, is they know when to hold them, when to fold them, as it were.
Right.
And the other thing that they do, and this is why I think The Walking Dead worked so well, and why a lot of the most recent Marvel as a whole has worked, is that what works so well for them is the fact that, yes, they do stay true to the source material, but like The Walking Dead, it wasn't a one-for-one take of the comic book itself.
Right.
Because if you want that, go read the book.
Right.
That's why I don't mind when creatives take liberties in a new medium. They're like, dude, if you want to just see The Last of Us, go to YouTube and find some channel who all they do is play games.
Go to Twitch, right.
And you can watch somebody play through The Last of Us. So the people that have played the game can still have interest in it.
Right.
Because there's enough differences that you're like, oh, I didn't know how they're going to get this way. Same with The Walking Dead. Like,
certain people die
much
books,
sooner or much later in the books than they do the show, and vice versa. Right. So it's
certain people lived and certain people didn't. Like,
yeah.
I enjoyed the comic book a lot, and like you said, the thing that kept me interested in the show was I didn't know how the show was going to turn out because it was just different enough from the comic books. Like, I knew all the basic key points that they were going to get to. I knew that they were going to get to the governor. I knew that they were going to get to Negan. I knew that they were going to get to, eventually Negan's going to kill one principal primary character. I wasn't sure who it was, but that was the excitement of the show, was tuning in and trying to decipher, how are they going to do it? How are they going to do the thing I already know is going to happen, but in their own way?
Right. It's the same thing we watched Infinity War for. We know that they're going to snap which half of this population is going.
Right.
So I think they're doing a really good job of that. Again, I haven't played the video game, so I'm a little bit out of this one, but by all stretch of the imagination, with my thumb being so pulse to the community of all the people, what I'm hearing back is that they're knocking it out of the park in terms of this, that aspect of the adaptation from the video game to the show. So yeah, I'm a big fan. There's a scene also, and I'm not trying to do this, but one of my favorite things that they did, to go back to the world building a little bit, they do a flashback in episode 2, and it kind of shows you very briefly how the outbreak began. Mm-hmm. They talk about it a little bit in season 3. They're like, it probably started at a place that, and it's so smart the way they do it, because they don't dwell on it. How it happened isn't as important as what's going on now.
Right, just this thing happened, we're moving on. Right.
And I love the pacing of that. It's brilliant. But they say ultimately a mold grew at something that you use every day, like sugar or flour, something like that.
Sugar, flour, wheat, something like that. Right.
And it became boxed up. People started eating it. So by Monday they got sick. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. By a week in, boom, everyone was sick.
Right. That's why everything went down all at once, was because essentially it was a worldwide endemic within a matter of days.
Yep.
Because of food supply and just the way, travel in the world works, kind of thing. Kind of reminiscent of recent events.
Yeah, recent events. A little bit topical.
We won't touch too much on that.
Yeah, let's not. But no, they show, I think it was either Malaysia or Indonesia.
Indonesia,
I believe. Yeah. And they ask this woman, they come just pull this random woman out of a diner, and these military men do, and they bring her back to some facility, some lab. And they have them do an autopsy, and they're like, hey, if you get sick at any point, leave. And she goes in there to
she's like a world-renowned, like the leading
fungologist.
I don't know,
or virologist. Some it doesn't really matter. But she cuts the person open, and she sees that there's fungus growing inside. They're like, well, this species can't survive in humans, right? And the people are like, come take a look. So they take her into the room. Like, hey, if you feel sick at any point, leave the room. Leave the room, definitely. She cuts the guy open. She sees these spores in his tongue's like this little tonguey spores thing or whatever. Mm-hmm. And she just bails out of the room. And it cuts to later, and one of my favorite lines of dialogue in the whole show, they're like, well, she's like, why am I here? Like, if this thing's already
out there,
then
what's the
she said, what happened? And they said, well, somebody got bit, and there's 14 people unaccounted for. She's like, 14 of these people are already out. She said, yeah, we got one. He's like, well, what do you suggest we do? We brought you here to build a vaccine or something. And she goes, bomb everything.
Right.
Start dropping bombs right now.
There is no cure for this. We don't have
there is no vaccine.
Fungal cures. We don't have fungal antivirals. That
start bombing right now. And she just sighs and goes, "I want to be with my family."
Yeah, she's like, "Can I go home now? Because I want to be with my family." It's
the most gangster
really,
shit, man.
It's this really heart touching. I mean, so brutally honest and so emotional. She's just like, "We're fucked.
Yeah,
there's
start
nothing.
bombing.
There's nothing you can do now. If you don't mind, I'm gonna go die with my family."
Yeah, she says, "Start bombing. Stop the spread."
Right. Bomb the city into, what did she say? Bomb it into the dirt or bomb it into ashes?
Something like that. Yeah. That's the only hope you got. And I was like, "Damn, that's some gangster shit to say."
Yeah. So that's the world we're living in right now. This very brutal, very honest, very emotionally driven world.
On top of everything, though, Michael and I want to talk about a very special episode, the newest episode. Amongst all this chaos, we got bamboozled I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. They snuck one in on us. One of the
hoodwinked. Set upon.
Yep.
We didn't fall on Last of Us. Last of Us fell on us.
Which, by the way, I just watched Robin Hood Men in Tights too. Ask me about that. Dude, they snuck in a love story.
Yeah.
In this on episode 3.
Yeah. It's called. It's named after the Linda Ronstadt song. I can't think of it. It's.
While you Google it, I'll just tell you. They snuck in this fucking love story on episode 3 between two characters, Nick Offerman and Murray Bartlett. You can hear Michael tapping away hard at work. And this thing is fucking beautiful, dude. Like, legitimately.
The episode was called Long, Long Time.
There it is.
That's it.
All right, cool. That was our Google dollars hard at work. You can hear the notes we take. We're prepared on that one. But yeah, man, it was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen, and this is one of the most high praises I can ever say. It was as good as the beginning of Up in terms of a love story that makes you fucking cry. And
in a very similar fashion, you don't have to watch any of the other you can just watch the opening of Up, and that's a movie in itself. Similarly, you don't have to have seen any episode of The Last of Us, and this is just a show unto itself. It's completely self-contained, and yet it ties in at the very last second into the story of Joel and Ellie making their trip across America, basically. So, yeah, it's a wonderfully isolated, beautifully shot, emotionally wrenching episode that really draws you into a character study of two people who, by all rights, shouldn't get along and yet fall in love.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's exactly what it is. Two people that find hope in the most dire of circumstances. And you're right, like you said, that shouldn't probably get along, would not mix normally, but whether it be due to the circumstance of there being fucking nobody else,
right, lack of options,
or whatever it might be, these two people find something so lovely in each other. And man, Bill and Frank's story is one for the books, truly. Yeah. Like, it's fucking lovely.
And that's Nick Offerman plays Bill, and
Murray Bartlett. Yeah, Murray Bartlett plays Frank.
Okay.
Yeah. And Nick Offerman's character, ultimately, just quick synopsis, is one of those survivalists. He has
doomsday preppers. Yeah.
He has a basement underneath his basement that's hidden by a crappy piece of furniture that swings up like an attic door or whatever.
Yeah, like out of Dracula's castle.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
And it's loaded for to the teeth with guns and supplies and ammunition, security cameras. Yeah. So when the QZ people come to, or the government comes to get everybody out of the cities, he doesn't go.
Right.
So ultimately, he is a very handy guy, and he builds this safe haven amongst everything, and it's got, like Michael said earlier, tripwires and flamethrowers and buzzsaws and grenades and tiger pits.
He turns his little town square into his own little fortress. So there's all these abandoned houses and stores and parks and whatnot, and he just runs it all. And he establishes this life of just solitude and hermitude, basically just getting through the day-to-day of growing his own garden and making sure the fence is still electrified and making sure all the booby traps are still armed, and that's his day-to-day. And he basically has this ethos of if I show kindness, or if I give away what's mine, then people are automatically going to interpret that as weakness.
Yeah, also, I think that is it. The majority of it, yes. And it's also of like, and there's a joke that he says, because Frank, what happens is he stumbles along one of his traps. I guess 10 people were leaving from Baltimore, and they ended up in Frank's little neck of the woods. I'm sorry, Bill's neck of the and yeah. And so of the 9 of them are dead, and so he falls into a little pit that he had built, and Frank goes out there to kill him, and he's like, wait, I'm not sick. He tests him, sure enough, he's not sick, and he kind of becomes friends. He's like, hey man, can I just get something to eat? There's a really funny line he says, like, if I feed you, every bum that or hobo that comes along here that wants a free snack is gonna want a free meal now, and this is not an Arby's. And he's like, that doesn't make sense. Arby's never gave away free meals.
Right.
It's a restaurant. Yeah. And his point is, he's like, dude, I'm letting you go. I could have just killed you. Like, I'm letting you go, so go. And homeboy was pretty persistent in the sense of like, nah, man, like, you can tell in this moment, like, Frank forgot his humanity. Bill, sorry. Nick Offerman forgot his humanity because he's been alone. At this point, it's been 4 years or 3 years, whatever it is. It's a lot of time jumps on this. It goes 3 years, 6 years, 10 years. He's been alone for 3 years. He's like, I don't need anybody. I'm self-sufficient. It's my whole thing here, dude.
Right.
And again, I know that there's no drama here now. And also, like, I'm not afraid of anything, so you can just keep it moving, homie. But Frank's ability, and this is an ability that I would hope that I have, as I'm not a very handy guy or anything like that. I don't really have any like discernible skills for survivalist.
Talking about Bill.
Yeah, I don't have those, is what I'm saying.
Right.
But Frank, his ability is to show his value, even though he doesn't, in these circumstances, have any.
Sure.
Socially, he's probably one of those guys that I would like to think, I think Michael and I have that a little bit, of we demonstrate value by social skills, ultimately.
Yeah. Social lubricants.
And comfortabilities and empathies.
Some would say
and
con men. Rapscallions.
Yep. Ne'er-do-wells.
Ne'er-do-wells.
Why we lead the Galactic Empire. And so, well, ultimately what it is, that he takes him in his house, and man, like, it starts this relationship of, like, dude, I don't need you. But you find out that old Bill's been harboring some feelings that he has not shared with many people in his life. Turns out he is a gay man, and it turns out Frank is too. And Frank shows him the way of love.
But even before that, you see Frank slowly break down Bill's walls. Like, he's not in a malicious or even intentional way, but systematically breaking down his walls and getting to know the real person, and also letting Bill understand who he is as a person. And so, like, Bill understands that, like, this dude's not a threat. He's not here to take my shit. He's not here to do me one in or try to stab me in the back first chance he gets. This is actually somebody that I can trust. And they do it just through a series of conversations and breaking down the walls between each other. And so by the time that the turn happens to where they're both sexually attracted to each other, it feels really earned, and it feels really genuine.
It does, man. No matter how well I try to describe this, I don't know that I can do an adequate job.
Yeah.
Because I well up a lot, especially now that I'm getting older. I'll see somebody, I've talked about it on the podcast before, I've become a big old softy in my old age. This had me fucked up. I was a blubbering mess. I was sitting there like talking to Angie. The dialogue is so brilliant, and the actual relationship itself is believable. And dude, I was a fucking blubbering mess at one point. And we'll go ahead and spoil that for you, but
admittedly, I was too. Like, I don't typically cry like at the theater. I might roll a tear or have a moment of like, oh, I'm a little verklempt.
Oh, discuss amongst yourselves.
SNL
reference.
Right. But this one, I literally was, and he loved him, and he loves him too, and they're just so beautiful, and all they want to do is just be together and be happy.
Yeah. Oh man! At one point during all of this, in the massive time jumps that they do, I think it's like 3, 6, 8 years later, they meet.
They basically cover 20 years.
20 years in about an hour. So eventually Joel stumbles along with his partner Tess or whatever, and they say, "Hey, look, you guys, you're right. You are self-sufficient out here, but we have medicines, we have supplies you don't have out here." Right. He's like, "That fence you got over there, give it about 2 years. It's going to be corroded to nothing. I can get you aluminum spool that has this and that. You trade us a couple things here and there. Right. We hide some things here away from the QZ where the government can't get it, and we'll be cool." And Nick Offerman is very much so just like Frank is just, or sorry, Bill. God, I'm gonna screw this up. Nick Offerman's just like, "No, fuck you. Like, no, dude." Eventually, Tess and Frank kind of hit it off, and they go do their thing, boutique shopping or whatever. And Pedro Pascal's character, Joel, is like, "Look, dude, I understand. Trust me, I fully get it. I get everything that you're doing. I appreciate the self-sufficiency, but if you don't get that gun out of my fucking face, we're about to have a very serious problem."
Right.
And he's like, "Fair enough."
Yeah, he slowly uncocks it and puts it back in his pocket.
And he's like, "Okay." Leash the dog a little bit. Cool.
Right.
And so it's like you need that toughness and that tenderness that these two bring to each other. And
yeah, for sure.
Frank at one point,
it's a great dichotomy or a great mirror image of both of their relationships in terms of one of them is very pragmatic, very stoic, very matter of fact, and the other one is very much like not like manic pixie, but very emotional and very like societal driven, and the need to make connections and the need to save the humanity not only within themselves but within others.
Beautifully said. Absolutely. So yeah, it's there's a scene before Joel and Tess come over. Like I said, there's a bunch of time jumps, but they're getting it shows them kind of fast forward in a little spat or whatever, a lover's quarrel. And he's like, what do you want? And he's like, "I don't ask you for much. I don't ask you for much at all, do I?" He's like, "No, you don't, but what do you want?" He's like, "I want paint and I want hardware to do this, and I'm going to do it all myself. I'm asking you for gasoline to do this, paint for this and that." And he's like, "Why?" He's like, "I want to redo the clothing boutique. I want to make it nice." He's like, "This is our world, and the world is what we have here. Let's fucking improve our world."
Right.
And he's like, "I'm not asking you for much. I'm not trying to fight you on this." And he's like, "Okay." He's like, "And I want to do this." He's like, "Fine, fair enough, fine." He's like, "Why do you want to do all this?" And he's like, "Because we're going to host guests." He's like, "No, we're not." And he's like, "Yes, we are."
Yep.
And they invite Joel and Tess over.
I'll tell you what's going to happen right now.
He's like, "Because we're going to host." And he's like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "Who have you been talking to?" He's like, "On the radio. There's a lovely couple. You're going to meet them." Fast forward, that's where Joel and Tess come in. And they make good on their trade. They're not even, the main character Joel's not in this episode very much at all. Mm-hmm. But it shows why he would be into their world. It's like he shows his value, he demonstrates his own of like, "Dude, I'm not coming here to fucking fuck up what you got going on. I couldn't if I tried. You could have killed me 10 ways by now."
Right.
But look, there's
again,
opportunity.
Being very pragmatic, like, I know I could try and take, that I could come and try and take your stuff, but you also know that I would have a very difficult time doing that.
Yeah.
So it's just easier for both of us if we try to communicate and just make a deal now.
Yeah.
Or if we can't make a deal, then we both walk away and go our separate ways and then leave each other the fuck alone.
Yeah. And he told him, like, dude, Joel told him, he's like, "There's going to be raiders. It's not just the infected you got to worry. They're going to come quickly, quietly,
in the night.
And at night."
Yep.
And he's like, "And you might survive the first one, but you will not continually do it. So I can help you to survive them." And he's like, "Shit. All right."
And then sure enough.
But there's a cute scene where you find out later that he traded one of his guns for strawberry packet seeds, and Frank plants a little garden of strawberries. And
oh, it's a really nice, touching
fucking
scene.
Beautiful scene.
It's his birthday or their anniversary or something.
I don't think they say. I think it's just. It might be. It might just be. Hey, look what I've been doing.
Yeah, but yeah.
And you believe that Frank would also be assertive enough to be like, "You have your thing where you set up your cameras and you sit down in your basement all day. I need my thing that's not yours.
Right.
All right. I'm going away for 2 hours. I'm going to be inside the gate. Don't ask me what I'm doing. Leave me the fuck alone." And he's going to be like, "Okay, I'm not fighting you, but go ahead."
Right.
And sure enough, he plants some strawberries.
All that time planting strawberries, and they have this really nice, like, romantic, genuine scene between them where Nick Offerman he sees the strawberries and he starts to like cry a little bit. Like it's this like really beautiful gift. And
they eat them together, by the way.
Yeah, they like he recognizes the sacrifice and the amount of time and effort put into this like really genuine gift of like, he never thought he was going to see strawberries again. And here's this person who brought this semblance of beauty in the old world and a little notion of a former life into this world of shit. And that's a really beautiful thing, you know? Like somebody who's willing to bring a little bit of care and a little bit of nostalgia or
just compassion,
service
of others, man. That's fucking a million
and
things.
He didn't ask anything. He wasn't like, hey, if I do this for you, we're gonna do this. He just did it, and they sit down and they both enjoy a strawberry, and Nick Offerman's like crying at it. You know? It's this really beautiful. If he doesn't win some sort of statue for this, there's a travesty, because
100%. They're both brilliant.
This is Nick Offerman swinging for the fences. Maybe because I know Nick Offerman a little bit better than I do the other actor,
right?
And I think maybe it might be a Laurel and Hardy situation where like the wild man or the comedic man always gets more notice than the straight man, but it takes a good straight man to make a good comedic man.
Very true. And there's some great dialogue that Murray Bartlett as Frank gets to rattle off. And Nick Offerman, they play off each other incredibly well.
Yeah, they real on-screen chemistry.
When he first meets him, he goes and sees the piano. He's like, "Oh my God, is this a custom whatever? Do you know how much this is worth?" He's like, "Given the circumstances, nothing now.
Currently, nothing.
Yeah, currently, nothing." But yeah, a lot of good dialogue. Even when he trades the gun for the strawberry packets, Nick Offerman gets a little bit upset. He's like, "Which one?" He goes, "It was a little one." It's like a real moment. He's like, "Okay, I lost."
You know what the tie-in to that was?
Which one?
That was Tess's gun.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense now. Hey, yeah, see? Michael's filling in the gaps here, what you've been watching.
I mean, I just noticed that, like... I noticed that Tess had a gun, and there was a line where Pedro Pascal said something about, "Where'd you get that?" She said, "Eh."
Yeah. That is true. Yeah, good job. Good eye on that one, man. Yeah, dude. So now to the gut-wrenching part. So they establish this wonderful love story of this, and fast forward 10 years later, and you find out it just jumps to, and Frank is in a wheelchair, and he doesn't look like he's in the best of health.
Yeah.
There's a scene earlier where Nick Offerman's character Bill got shot, and you thought, "Oh my God, he's gonna die here." Nope. Fast forward like 10 years later, he's up walking around, and the other dude is in a wheelchair. Frank is. And
they never really address what the disease is, but it's either
ALS, cancer.
Yeah, some sort of like debilitating.
Yeah, something. And that kind of goes on for the full day, and you see the amount of love in which he shows this guy, Nick Offerman, to this Murray Bartlett, how he's like picking him up, carrying him upstairs, putting him in bed, getting him up in his wheelchair. Then you see him go to sleep together at night, and then you see Murray Bartlett just in his wheelchair by himself.
On a side note, just may I interrupt, they do a really good job of aging them through the entire series so that you can see the progression of, like, at the beginning of the series, Nick Offerman looks like, mid-30s, maybe early 40s, something like that.
Yeah.
And by the end of the show, they've aged him and grayed him out so much and taken off the makeup and making him look more sullen. So he looks, maybe 65, 70.
Whoever the makeup artist is for this show is fucking brilliant.
He literally looks like two different characters.
Well, I don't mean just that, but even just the cordyceps alone, like the infected, look fucking like, those little like mushroom that hang out of giant trees or something like that you'll see, like looks like that on their face. It's fucking brilliant. Whoever the makeup artist is, so good on you for pointing that out. That the makeup's well done. But ultimately, what you do is you find out that Frank is dying. And he pretty much, and this is going to be, again, I'm not going to do it justice. So please do not do, I heard what happened, so don't watch it. Don't be that person.
You owe it to yourself to go watch it.
I'm giving
this. Be absolutely entranced by this.
Yeah, this is brilliant. And
this is television making at its finest.
At its finest. This is storytelling. This is, like I said, I'm putting this up there with like Dracula as a love story, or like the first 10 minutes up of like, holy fuck, I was moved.
And like I said, you don't have to know anything about the rest of the series. They give you all the information you need to know within the episode itself, and it's a perfect standalone. If you watch no other episode of this series, watch this one.
Right. No. I fully agree. Yeah. Unless they got something in the woodworks.
Unless they got something in the works. I don't know. But
so far, this is going to be really fucking hard to top.
Yeah.
But yeah, you find out homeboy's sick, and you find out he puts himself in the wheelchair, and Nick Offerman gets all upset. "Oh, why'd you do that?" Pretty much what he tells him is, long story short, is like, today's going to be my last day. I'm sick. I'm not getting any better. And Nick Offerman, well, what if? And he's like, what? An MRI salesman's going to come door to door on this?
They didn't have a cure for this before the whole world went to shit.
Yeah.
So what makes you think that all of a sudden some snake oil salesman's going to come through with a miracle cure?
Yeah. He's like, okay, fair enough. And Frank, it's so beautiful, and I'm going to butcher the dialogue, but he says, like, I've thought about this long and hard. This is what's going to happen. I'm going to get up. He's like, we're going to go downstairs, and you're going to cook me toast.
Because
that's what I want. He's like, then we're going to go to the boutique, and we're going to get dressed, and you will wear what I pick out for you. Then we're going to get married. Mm-hmm. Then you're going to take me home, and you're going to cook an incredible dinner.
I got goosebumps right now.
Yeah, I'm telling you. He's like, you're going to cook me an incredible dinner. And
like you always do.
Like you always do.
Right.
And then you're going to crush these pills up. You're going to put them in my wine. You're going to take me to bed. And I'm going to die in your arms. Goddamn, I almost cried just thinking about it.
Yeah, dude.
And fucking Nick Offerman resisted at first. He's like, no.
But not just resisted. They keep cutting to his face. Like,
oh my God.
Like Frank lays out one section of the plan, and then they cut to Nick Offerman. And then he lays out another section of the plan, and they cut to Nick Offerman. And you can just see his face breaking down the knowledge as he understands what's happening, what his best friend and lover is asking him to do.
He's asking the most logical man, which logically is to be, yes, put me down, please. Put me out of my misery. And now the roles have switched where he's like, dude, I'm being logical and you're the one driven by the emotion.
Right, yeah. It's this beautiful twist of fate where all of a sudden, like I hadn't thought of that. You're right. Now all of a sudden Nick Offerman is the emotional one, and
the whole thing is so subversive. The whole fucking episode really is, but it's also right in your face the whole time too. And Nick Offerman ultimately, like, and you see him come to terms with the acting he does in the sense of like, hey, I'm coming to terms with this. And Frank has this line of dialogue. He says something along the lines of like, hey man, I've thought long and hard about this. I've had a lot of bad days.
Right.
I've had a lot of good days.
Right.
I've also had a lot of bad days with you.
Right.
I'm asking you for one more good day. And it fucking makes you cry, dude. It's so fucking good.
It's beautiful. It really is.
And he tells him...
It's this brilliant piece of dialogue that's so succinct and so poignant and so direct to everything that I think is a universal truth of just like if it's your last day and you know it, you just want it to be a fucking good one.
A good day?
Just one good day.
And Nick
last good day.
Exactly.
That's it.
And he's like, I just want one good day with you. And he says, Nick Offerman, I can't. And he's like, look, I'm just asking you to love me the way that I want to be loved. And it's so, I'm about to cry talking about it. It is so fucking beautiful. Yeah. And I am just, it was
just
most...
love me the way I need you to love me.
I need you to love me. That's it, dude. That's all I'm asking you today. Come to find out, everything that he said was going to happen, happens. And
don't give away the twist.
Okay, I won't give away the twist. All right.
But
just watch it. If I haven't hooked you by now, there's still one more twist down the pipeline. But it is one of the most brilliant love stories I've ever seen. And again, please don't just not watch it because, you heard it on what you've been watching. Those two morons talk about it.
And go the other way. Like,
lean into this. Yeah.
Please watch it because we're telling you it's so fucking good.
And we're doing it a disservice by describing it so crudely.
There is no way that I could explain this to you and have you understand exactly how good it is. It's all I can do is I can either undersell it or oversell it, and either way, it's a disservice to you. So
right.
I can't talk about it anymore because at this point I'd just be repeating the same things. And
which we will love to do.
Right. But otherwise I'm going to oversell it and it's going to turn into like, well, now it's hyped up too much, so I can't watch it. Like, no, just go watch it. Go.
Yeah. I'm not even going to review it. I'm going to let you do that. You write us in at whatyoubeenwatchingpodcast@gmail.com. Please send us your review of episode 3 of The Last of Us.
That's right.
All right? And we will read that on air, and we'll let you know what you, the people, you, the legions, think about it.
Dear what you been watching.
Dear what you been watching. Hit us with the Casey Kasem. That's on a certain card that I'm not supposed to reference anymore. Oh, man. Anyways, so pivoting off of that, do you want to take a break real quick?
Yeah, let's hear from our sponsor.
Psilocybin.
Psilocybin?
Yeah, psilocybin. We're on mushrooms and fungi.
Turns out there's some good mushrooms out there.
We'll be back.
And thank you from our sponsor. I believe you mentioned something about fun guys.
Hey, you see where I wanted to go with that. Oh man, so yeah, off of The Last of Us and on to The Menu.
Oh,
The Menu.
yeah, something we both saw recently.
Yeah,
I'd be interested to hear your thoughts.
I was surprised by it, to be honest. I thought it was going to be one thing, and it is not. By the way that the trailer rolled, I thought it was going to be like, Soylent Green is people.
See, I thought it was going to be more of a Saw or like Hostel type thing, where it was just like people being tortured in various ways through kitchen instruments. Like somebody put their hand in the blender, somebody has to like run their hand over the mandolin, you know, somebody like has to put their elbow in the slicer. I don't know.
Yeah, I have bad dreams about it. I've seen some horrific accidents working at Sonny's.
Me
It
too,
is bad,
bro.
some shit.
Yeah.
Ugh, it traumatized me, actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if I would watch that. So I'm glad to say it is not either one of those things.
It is not. It is definitely more of a psychological thriller.
It's a very dark comedy too. Very dark comedy.
Very, yes.
But it is a dark comedy though.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be, like I said, where it was like, oh, all these people are dying and we're killing people to serve them on this menu, this elusive menu, and that's not what it is. We're going to spoil this movie too, so if you haven't seen it, go watch The Menu. We'll give you a couple seconds.
Wait. Wasn't that good?
Pretty fucking good, right?
Good, right?
Pretty fucking good.
Wasn't Ray Fiennes good?
He fucking is always good, though. He does a good thing in that movie where he smiles ever so slightly, because he's been manufacturing this smile in the hospitality industry for a very long time.
Oh, I'm very familiar with that
And
smile,
the fake
sir.
smile, he does it a lot, and it's perfect in this movie. And at the end, when he cracks the real one, when he cooks the cheeseburger, woo, it's great, great scene. But anyways, we'll get into that.
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoiler. But if you've ever worked in a restaurant or a hotel or in retail or anything like that, or any kind of customer service or any hospitality industry really at all, this movie is for you.
Yeah.
It really, really is. It really is.
In the same way that, like, Fight Club is for disenfranchised masculine men.
Yes.
Like, it's not something to be celebrated. You shouldn't look at this as like, yeah, that's what I want to do. But it's a darker image of that in terms of,
I got
like,
what you're saying now. I got you now. Yeah, no.
If I could get away with it, this is what I would do.
Yeah, so Ray Fiennes runs this very elusive, exclusive restaurant that brings these people out there to
Hawthorne.
The Hawthorne, yes. And everything is locally sourced on this island, and it's owned by some angel benefactor or whatever. And I forget what his name is, but so they invite these people out there on this island to everything's sourced and grown on the island, and it's like the most elite food you'll ever eat
Yeah, it's
in
like
your life.
I think they said it was something like $1,200 or $1,400 a plate. Basically.
$12.50 a plate. Yeah, I don't know why that number stuck with me, but it did, because I thought it was weird. I was like, huh.
Very specific.
Yeah.
But also, you could see people paying that for, like, somebody of the Gordon Ramsay or Emeril Lagasse type caliber restaurateur. You know, like somebody who's paying so much for the exclusivity of the restaurant.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what it is. It's not without of the realm of possibility that a bunch of rich snobs only want to eat somewhere because it's so exclusive.
And illustrious.
And illustrious and, well, whatever. So ultimately what it is it's only 12 people at a time, and you're slowly introduced to each of these characters one by one. They're all very flawed for different reasons. And in the sense of this, it is kind of like Saw, where it's not somebody dishing out vengeance because of the sins of their past. It's people that have fucking ruined douchebag A. This person's a douchebag for this reason. This person's a douchebag for this reason. This person's a liar and a cheat for this reason.
Yeah.
But collectively, people like this have just taken the joy out of culinary artistry.
And that's kind of one of my problems with the movie is that other than Anna Taylor-Joy, what's her? I forget her name.
Margot.
Margot.
Well, that's her fake name that she gives.
Margot. She has a hidden character. We won't spoil it, but Margot. Other than her, everyone else in the movie is completely unlikable. Like, from the jump. Like, she's the only one where we're kind of on the fence about in terms of, yeah, she's kind of a bitch. She's kind of pragmatic. She's a little bit
Immature.
but it's still miles away the best qualities out of anybody else in the whole in the whole movie.
Yeah, they lean into it a little bit. It is a little bit tropey in the sense of like a horror movie is like you can tell the people that are going to die that you don't like. They set it up off the rip.
Right.
And it's only an hour and 47 minutes, so it ain't like they had a lot of time.
It's a quick in and out.
Yeah, and it ain't
pretty
that
brisk.
bad. So,
I do like how during the entire movie they set up the movie is told in sequential chapters, and they set up each chapter as if it was a as if
first
it was
entree.
Yeah. So they start off with the appetizer. That's chapter 1. Then chapter 2 is first course. Then chapter 3 is second course, and then, until they work themselves into the dessert finale main course, whatever. So it's broken down in really sequential order, and each chapter delves more and more into the psychosis of it all, kind of.
Yeah, it definitely ups the ante. Like by the time the actual main course, the entree gets out, everything's pretty much on the table as what's happening. He's like, we are all going to die here tonight. And they're like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, we're all going to die here tonight. One of my favorite lines in the movie is like later they separate the men and the women at the table. And the women try to like appeal to one of the sous chefs. They're like, what do you want? You want money? You want your own restaurant? We can get you out of here. Like, you don't have to go through with this. And she's like, no, actually, all of us dying tonight was my pitch, and I'm so glad it went through. And they go, fuck it, where's the wine?
Right.
She's like, I'm really proud of that one.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, this lowly sous chef who only wants to rise above her station and leave her mark on the culinary world, and the best she can come up with is like, what if we all just died together?
That's the meal. That's the menu. The menu must go together. There must be a
spoilers.
Theme. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Is like the menu has to be pulled together by a theme, and it's the fact that everyone's going to die tonight. Mm-hmm. And Ray Fiennes has been, you can tell, had the joy sucked out of him over the years of the hospitality industry, especially in the restaurant industry itself. It'll do it to you.
100%.
And they do a good job. Brandon Holt's in the movie as well. Obviously, Anna Taylor-Joy. Nicholas Holt. Sorry, what did I say?
Brandon Holt.
Yeah. Nicholas Holt's in it. Anna Taylor-Joy obviously crushes it. But Johnny Legs, by the way.
Johnny Legs?
Johnny Legs.
Talking about Johnny Legs?
John Leguizamo himself.
Talking about Sponses? From Clownses?
The Violators. He's in it. One of my favorites. One of the all-time.
Talking about Executive Decisions?
Yeah. Talking about motherfucking Carlito's Way. Benny Blanco from the Bronx.
Benny Blanco from the Bronx.
Yeah. No, so he's in it. And he's a what you've been watching. Hall of Famer. Right. There's your jingle. Hall of Famer. There it is. I'll work on it. We're workshopping it now, but hey. And they're all like, for example, like Nicholas Holt's character, you find out he's a foodie. Like, he's so enthused by food, and he actually really knows his shit. He's very knowledgeable on it. But
he's some mid-tier blogger or something like that.
Well, no, he's just enthused by food, whatever he is, and he's just like, oh, I love food. I love food. It's so captivating to me. And eventually what happens is Ray Fiennes brings him back to the kitchen. He's like, you really know your stuff. I noticed that you pointed out the smoky wood flavor earlier. And you noticed this too. Oh, yeah. He's like, oh, I sure did. Yeah. He's like, well, come back here. You're with us now. You're in the kitchen.
Oh, yeah. And they put a jacket on him.
They put a jacket on him. He writes it, like his name on it, whatever.
Personalize it for you.
And he's like, now cook. And he's like, wait, what? He's like, what do you need? He's like, what do you want me to cook? He's like, whatever you want.
Right.
We have it.
Yep.
He's like, and you can tell, like, oh shit, he's doing this to embarrass him.
Yeah.
He's like, get me leeks. Leeks, okay, cool.
Okay. Oh, innovative. How innovative. Leeks.
Onion. Oh, shallots.
Oh, okay.
He's mocking him. He's like, chopping in a way in which we have just been ignorant to our whole life.
His knife skills were atrocious, by the way. That was one of the few things that, like, the subtle nuances that I noticed where I was like, oh, that's good. Yeah. That's good.
The dude's
watching somebody who knows how to cut things watch someone who doesn't know how to cut things is... Yeah. It's a simple joy of like, ooh, I know exactly what your level is right now.
Yeah. And he's sitting there mocking him. He's like, ooh, butter. Ooh, never been done before. Revolutionize.
It's one of the, like, it's an industry tell where, like, just as someone who has worked in, and I'm not claiming to be, Emeril Lagasse or Anthony Bourdain or whatever, but, like, I know a few things about a few things, and you can sort of tell when somebody's out of their element.
Oh, yeah. He's trembling in fear the whole time, too. Because all he wants to do is be liked by this guy.
Yeah. He's so dedicated to it. It's almost like obsessive patronage. You know,
Yeah.
like he's so obsessed with he's the greatest artist ever, and he's so innovative and he's so avant-garde, and yet he knows nothing about the subject. You know.
Yeah, it's the difference between knowledge and wisdom, ultimately, is what it is.
Yes, yeah.
And after he gets done making, he cooks this lamb undercooked and he serves it to Ray Fiennes, and he's like, ooh, he's like a palate unknown. Butter and shallots and leeks and lamb in a dish, ooh. And he takes one bite and he's like, this is terrible. He's like, he starts to cry. He's like, and he pulls him aside and he whispers something to him. He's like,
we never know what it is.
Well, he says something to him before he whispers to him, but he's just like, you are the reason that all the joy has gone from my artistry. He said, all the mystery of my artistry has been taken out by people like you.
Right.
And he's just like, fuck. And then he whispers something to him. You want to tell him what happens to him? Or
We see Nicholas Hoult take off his chef's jacket, and he says, yes, chef, and walks off stage. And we later see him hanging in the meat freezer. dangling because he couldn't handle being rejected by his favorite artist. It's almost as if, like, I don't know, like you dedicated your life to learning everything about Mick Jagger, and you just wanted to meet him so bad, and you paid for your backstage tickets, and then he asked you to play your favorite Rolling Stones song and you can't name one. You know, it's that type of level. You could tell Mick Jagger his entire Wikipedia story, but you can't name your favorite Rolling Stones song in the moment.
It's kind of the gatekeeping thing, like ultimately in the sense of like, you know, like for to use it in our world, like the Marvel comic book stuff. It's like, man, I read the books and I did all this, and then you have somebody just jump on the internet and go, oh, it's this and that and the third, and you're just like, all the fucking
ain't it cool news? Psylocke wouldn't look like that because she would be blah blah blah.
Well, it's not
I
just
think that casting her was a mistake.
Well, I don't mean in that way. I just mean in the sense of like, you get somebody that's really dedicated to the work to learn the hows and whys of why comic books work, and then somebody just comes along and it's like, oh, well, I know everything about this because I just read it on the Wikipedia page. And you're like, dude, I've fucking been reading this shit for years. Like,
right.
It's fucking exhausting. And you're like, dude, all right, man. Like, people like you fucking take the joy out of it, you know?
Sure, yeah.
And then you're like, and you, oh, well, it should be this way. And you're like, yeah, you noticed that because you've been told by IGN.com that that's that Easter egg.
Right.
So now you're a fucking, and it's gatekeeping, and I know we shouldn't do it, but it does take the joy out of the things. Like, a band gets too big, and then it's like you can't enjoy the band anymore. And that's kind of
sure. Well, I knew them back when they were still selling.
Maybe it's a bad analogy, but
No. But it is. It's people who insert themselves into the art just simply because it's popular or it's the thing to do without actually dedicating themselves to understanding like the time and effort it took to build that art.
That's much better said what I'm trying to get at.
It's you can name every Beatles album in sequential order, track by track, and yet you've never learned to play guitar. You've never been truly inspired to actually just learn a Beatles song.
You don't truly appreciate what I do. It's like you love it on paper because it makes you sound smart and sophisticated.
Sure, yeah.
So everyone in the party of these 12 people, you all kind of learn he has a beef with. There's like a group of super douchey Wall Street guys that show up and find out they've been stealing money from the guy the benefactor of the restaurant.
Right. They basically work for their mid-level management types who work for the main owner of the restaurant.
Of the island, yeah.
Yeah, like the corporate overlord owner of the restaurant. And they're just there because of the exclusivity or because it's the new trendy place and it's really going to kick us up a notch in the social status to find, when we tell people that we ate at the Hawthorne.
Yeah.
Like, they're not there for the food. They're not there for the experience.
It's the status,
They're there for the status. Yeah.
To steal money and, all that shit, man. Fucking bunch of douchers. So he is a little bit like Jigsaw in that way, in the sense of, like, it doesn't merit him killing people, but...
And then, Johnny Legs is the actor who's there only because he's trying to pitch he's trying to revitalize his career. he's there to pitch a new series where he does like an Anthony Bourdain or Andrew Zimmerman kind of thing, where he travels and talks about different food and different cultures and different experiences. But then
he's just a hack, really.
Yeah, but then when he tries to explain his pitch, he's like, well, I don't know. I show up at a place, they get a couple of shots of me with the desert and the sunrise, and I'm eating camel hump or whatever the fuck, and then I say some poignant shit that the writers wrote for me, and we cut to credits. You know?
Pretty much. That's almost verbatim what he says.
Yeah.
Not really, but point for point, though, yeah. Yeah, and so it's all these reasons why people take the joy out of the hospitality industry. There's a food critic there who there's a really brilliant scene where they serve tacos and they're laser printed on each tortilla, and it's photos of them. Like, one guy's been cheating on his wife at the same restaurant. He's like, why am I here? And he's like, you've been to this restaurant. His wife goes, 7 times. He's like,
9 times.
11 times.
Right.
He's like, name one thing. Name one dish that you had from any previous time that you've been here. She's like, the cod. He's like, it was halibut, you stupid donkey. His insults are great.
Yeah. And then he basically talks about how she's like, well, what the fuck does it matter? He's like, it matters to the halibut. It matters to the cook that raised that halibut and filleted it in a particular way to maximize the flavor and seasoned it to perfection and cooked it exactly to your order. It matters to them. You know,
beautifully said. Geez, I should do this more often.
I'm very passionate about my foods.
No, I get you, man. So, and there's a lot of different things. Like I said, the food critic was there, and like they laser printed some of her reviews, which shut down restaurants. Like, you're like, dude, you came in, you wrote some wordy shit, and you shit on everybody.
And because
and your assistant's here, and he's a little yes man, and you enable her, like, you need to die too.
He's consistently like making his opinion, and she's like, actually, and he's like, yeah, you're right.
John Leguizamo's date is so funny. She's like, why am I here? She's like, did you go to school somewhere? He's like, yeah, I went to Brown, which is a very prestigious school. She goes, do you have any student loans? No.
You deserve to die.
Yeah, you need to die. It's a really funny joke. Yeah, you need to die. You're entitled. But like the food critic's there, and he's got all that shit printed out, and so it's not like he kills them each in a creative way. It's not like Jigsaw in that way, but he does kind of like, you people fucking have ruined this shit for me. And he admits openly, he's like, I have learned, like, I've seen through the veil now. He kills the guy who owns the island. And he's like, I've seen through the veil now. I have
Spoilers.
Yeah, we're spoiling it. I have chosen a life to try to please people which can never be pleased.
Right.
And I choose this. And I've chosen, fucking, the gig is up. You unappreciative fucking people. And there's so much good dialogue. Even like the waitress, I forget her name. She was in The Watchmen. She's Korean in The Watchmen. I don't know if that's right.
Oh, yeah.
I forget her name. She's in the Watchmen TV show.
Yeah. She's not the maitre d', but basically the head server.
Pretty much, yeah. And she always say, even when crazy shit's happening and people are dying, she's like, please let me help you back to your chairs.
Right.
Which in like silver spoon, like traditional training, think about what she says. Please, I'm asking you to let me help you back to your chair.
Oh yeah, so always the consummate host, always thinking of the guests, never letting them know what's going on in the back of the kitchen as far as problematically. Yeah, it's beautiful.
And it's so wonderful in the sense of like, dude, I've lived my life, and I try to, without getting into it too much, one of the things that helps keep me sober is I try to do acts of service. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it is times where you just like, why the fuck do I sign up for this? People are so fucking unappreciative, and that's actually what I'm not currently in the hospitality industry, but Michael can tell you I'm certified. I've paid my dues in it. I've worked at fucking many restaurants, and I've paid my dues. But even like I folded laundry at a laundromat recently, and trust me, it's like you ask yourself at some point, like, why do I do this? But you kind of miss it in a weird way. But it's like you literally have signed up the contract is to be like, you're just going to run across people that you can't fucking please. Right. And if you are truly in the hospitality industry, and you truly, if not, get out of this industry now. Get out of the field because it's not for you. If you are truly good at it, you look at someone and you're like, while you are here, I am so invested in you and whatever you got going on. And it is my job to acquiesce to whatever thing you got going on. And I'm here for you. And if I can make your day better by that, then I fucking did a great job. But it's rewarding in itself.
But also on the flip side of that is sacrificing your integrity and sacrificing your artistic vision, because one of the things that struck me was every meal that they brought out, like every chapter they brought in a new meal, and they would do a brief scene where they would go table to table and everybody would give their opinion on the meal, and they were all so varied and so wildly different. And some people would be like for instance, he serves a breadless bread.
Yeah.
You know, where it's basically all the accoutrements and sauces and flavors that go with bread, but without the bread. And it's literally on like an artist palette kind of thing, you know, like one of those flat boards. And it's just a little dab of sauce, a little dab of this, a little dab of that. And people are eating it. And one of them's like, this is so dumb. Why wouldn't you just serve the bread with it? And the other one's like, this is so amazing to understand the flavors and the different subtleties of all the different flavors of bread without the actual bread. So it reminded me that in the service industry, everyone knows what they want, but they don't know what they want. It's the equivalent of, like, to put it in a very real perspective, people who order a medium rare burger, and then you serve a medium rare burger, and there's, you know, blood dripping out of it.
Lots of blood.
And people look at it and they go, that's raw. And you're like, well, no, that's what you asked for. That's the thing that you requested. If you did want a medium rare burger, maybe you should have ordered a medium well burger. If you didn't want blood, then that's what you should have asked for. I know you know what you want, but you don't know what you want.
Perfectly said, man.
And it's that frustration of I've dedicated myself to this craft to understand exactly how to do the thing you're asking for, but you gotta ask for the thing you're asking for. Or just let me do my thing, experience it, and then you can comment on it and be like, wasn't my flavor, but I liked this aspect of it. Or not, or whatever. Just, if you're signing up for an experience, or if you're signing up for a piece of art, if you're signing up for a movie, a meal, an art exhibit, a play, anything, you sign up for what they present to you.
Right.
You have absolutely every right to complain and say, it wasn't particularly my flavor, but you don't have the right to criticize and say, that was done wrong.
Yeah, you got to let the thing be the thing.
Exactly.
There's a chef here in Tallahassee, and he's been pretty successful, and really nice guy, actually.
Shout out to Chef Dustin.
I know, right? Shout out Chef Dustin. Not talking about you here, buddy. But I actually really respect this a lot. He has a menu that changes, you know, every couple weeks. He'll rotate whatever's fresh, whatever's good. Has a nice charcuterie board. The one thing he won't do, and I know a lot of people joke.
Turn that ass into a charcuterie.
It's my backup career plan Michael just mentioned, but we'll talk about that at a different podcast. Maybe a mailbag episode with real questions. But and I know there's always a joke, like there are no substitutions. I understand some of that, but if you're, you know, but somebody will be like, hey, I want this dish, but I really don't like onions. Can you take the onions out? And he's like, no, I can't. The onions pair with the blue cheese, and the blue cheese pairs with the blackened steak. So, like, if you don't want the onions, we have 4 other things on the menu that don't have onions in them. Right. Don't order it with the fucking, like, no. Like,
hey, I want a quesadilla, but no cheese. Well, madam, you don't want a quesadilla. You want a taco.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Or you want just chicken.
Or whatever.
Whatever, yeah.
You want a flauta. Like,
yeah.
You don't want a quesadilla. That's not the thing you want, because the whole point of a quesadilla is the cheese. That's where the queso comes in the quesadilla.
Yeah. And so ultimately, it's all these things, and Michael and I could go on a rant about all the good and bad.
I'm sorry.
I could regale you with tales of my own hospitality frustrations. As a general manager, one time I sat down and somebody asked me what was on the menu, and I was like, "Oh, it's 2 hot dogs. It comes with this and the third." And she started quoting the menu to me, and I go, "Ma'am, I don't know how the menu is worded verbatim," and she's like, "You're the general manager. You don't even know what's on your menu," and I was like, That's dumb bitch here. It's not what I'm saying. And like, she laughed at me in my face, and I was just like, I had to sit there and take it. And it was just one of those things that was like, I am out here serving you, like, as the general manager. Like, I'm running this whole show, I'm cooking everything, and you're laughing in my face because I don't know exactly how it's worded on the menu when I memorize the entire thing top to bottom. I can tell you everything that comes with it, like how it's played, everything else about it. And I was just like, who the fuck are you? It's moments like that you just understand, like, you people while you are the lifeblood of this, are also the absolute worst part about this too.
100%. Yeah.
So it's I really enjoyed it. There's Anna Taylor-Joy, you find out she kind of gets a pass in this one because she works in the service industry as well.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink, if you get what I'm getting at. And
she's very serviceable.
Very serviceable. So, yeah. It's a very old profession. Maybe one of the oldest professions.
That's right.
She might not do that, but she's definitely a call girl for sure. Escort, as it were. So, and they kind of like start to say like, you're in this too. You're either with them or you're with us. So you can you're either a giver, and that's what we are, or you're a taker, right? And you're with them. And slowly but surely, she's on the fence about it, and she finds the one thing that like she kind of reveals. Ray finds like secret. You're not supposed to go into the chef's house. She goes into the chef's house. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
Finds
his
out
secret origins and his whole episode 0 kind of thing.
Yeah, and she finds a photo of him flipping some patties, and he's got this giant smile on his face, just with a old school spatula, a good flat top grillet, or
apron that says "Kiss the cook"
kind of thing, and he's happy as shit. Ray finds is. And at the very end of the thing, like she ends up getting away because she claps her hands, whatever's like, all right, chef, you say all these things. You say that this is your masterpiece, that it has to end in death. And he's like, we're all dying tonight, whatever. It's like, but let me tell you this. If you said tonight's about hard truths, your food has been very shallow, very boring.
Pretentious.
You've been pretentious. You have taken the joy out of me eating.
Right.
And quite frankly, I'm still hungry.
Which ties into the very first thing he says when he introduces himself to the group. He says, I don't want you to eat. I want you to experience. Yeah. I want you to
taste.
To taste, to enjoy, to this, that, the other. This whole long diatribe about, like, don't just eat my food. And she's like, you know what? Sometimes I just want to eat.
Yeah, it's comforting to just eat.
Right.
And so she slams that back in his face, and then the ultimate slam dunk, and she goes, and you know what? I'm still hungry. Right. And he's like, wait, what? He's like, what would you like? I'd like a cheeseburger. She's like, he's like, I'll make you a cheeseburger. And he's like, no. I don't want any of this artisanal fusion bullshit. Right. I want a fucking cheeseburger.
A classic American cheeseburger.
American cheeseburger. And he's like, what kind of cheese? American. He's like, yeah, American cheese is the best kind for a cheeseburger because it melts without splitting. He's like, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know too. Right. I'll make you Okay, make me a cheeseburger then.
Right. And not on a brioche bun.
Not on a brioche bun. And he's like, a traditional one. Oh, I gotcha. Okay. Right. And so he kind of gets the joy back in that moment of just like, oh, fuck, that's what it's all about. And there was a moment I could
Cooking for the joy of making people happy eating your food.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the joy. That's the joy of art is I made a thing, people enjoy the thing, I'm satisfied.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the true heart of the entire movie is how do you maintain your sanity and your credibility,
your passion
without selling out and without trying to cater to the people who quote unquote matter, and just keeping it to yourself and making your thing your thing.
Yeah. That's why I love going to a restaurant, like a little breakfast nook, and we got eggs, pancakes, bacon, sausage, French toast, and it's like 8 things. And you're like, I fucking love this place. Because you know exactly what you are.
You just described Waffle House.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I did.
But also that, yeah.
It's like you know what you are, and it's like, fuck it. If you don't want this food, don't come here. But these things that we got, we're going to hook it up with. Yeah. And you're going to get the personal touch. We got orange juice, coffee, and a few other things working. That's what we got here. And you're like, I fucking like this place because you know what you are. So I actually really dug it, though. It was a nice little love letter to the hospitality industry and just being in service in general. So I will give it a 6-course meal.
A 6-course
meal? 6-course meal. I very much so enjoyed it.
I am going to give that 1 basket of gluten-free breadsticks.
Tough critique, actually. Tough critique.
You see my point.
Yeah, okay. I got you. I'm with you. The menu, I definitely would recommend it, though, personally. So, very funny, though.
Johnny Legs.
Johnny Leguizamo. It's got all the makings of everything I like. It's about food. It's got Johnny Legs in it. He does cool shit.
It's like an hour and 40 minutes, so it's in and out. Yeah.
So, there's some other things we were going to talk about. We could talk some Weekend at Bernie's. We could talk Robin Hood Men in Tights, but we might just save it
Let's just save it for next time.
Save it for next time.
Why not?
Well, that's what it is.
That's where we're at.
Well, that's always, as always, my brother. It is truly a pleasure. I enjoy doing this with you, man. And I
Always,
appreciate your take on things. So, without further ado, for the marvelous Mike Duds, I am the MD3 signing out. I would recommend that you go watch a movie.
And above all, talk about it with someone you love. And you know what? Go have a meal over it. Why not? Deuces.